Hello everyone, I am State Senator Bobby Powell Jr. representing Senate District 30 in Palm Beach County. This is week 4 of the 2022 legislative session, the week of January 31st through February 4th. And boy, do I have some important information to share with you about this week. This is week 4 of the 2022 legislative session. And if you've noticed, you've probably seen a very troubling theme. The legislation that's being passed is not the legislation that the citizens of Florida have been asking for. For example, we have a growing housing crisis in the state of Florida. Floridians themselves are finding it harder and harder to afford Florida. As covering the rent or mortgages becomes more and more difficult, that impacts everything, especially our business community. What that means is no housing, no employees. We are almost at the halfway point in the 2022 legislative session. And instead of passing legislation that will actually help ease the affordable housing crisis here in the state of Florida, we're getting bills that do anything but. On Wednesday, over the objections of many, from the public to doctors and sexual assault victims, the Senate Health Policy Committee passed Senate Bill 146, banning abortions after 15 weeks on a 6-4 vote. All Democrats dissented against this piece of legislation. There was an exception for victims of rape and incest that was rejected. I, of course, cast a vote against this particular bill because I believe that the decisions rest with the woman and her doctor. Government should not be a part of this extremely personal decision. And once again, the legislature is tinkering with elections. Earlier this week, Senate Bill 526, legislation targeting voting rights for the second year in a row, won passage by a Senate committee. The bill is especially concerning to me because it would create a special police unit with special agents appointed by the governor to hunt for alleged elections crimes. There is scant evidence of election fraud as an issue here in the state of Florida. Even the governor praised Florida's last performance in the presidential election. So why are special agents and special police units necessary? That is the question. And why are culture war bills moving so swiftly when legislation that would clearly help the citizens of the state of Florida barely moving at all? Is this really necessary? And of course, that is the critical question that was asked by the Florida Legislative Black Caucus this week on Thursday when we held our press conference to discuss the priorities of 2022 for the Florida Legislative Black Caucus. We believe that all Floridians should be healthy, safe, proud, and prosperous. And we also urge that leadership should feel the same way. Because as chairman of the Florida Legislative Black Caucus, I'm alarmed that bills aimed at actually solving the problems that Floridians wrestle with on a daily basis, like affordable housing, like health care, and like criminal justice reform, keep getting kicked to the back of the line while culture war bills steam right ahead to the finish line. That's problematic.
But while we do applaud the past, we recognize that legislation that's been sponsored by Black lawmakers built upon those achievements and aimed at solving the most pressing issues that Floridians struggle with today somewhat remains largely bottlenecked in committees.
And that is it for this week's edition of the Powell Press. Thank you for joining us for week 4. I am State Senator Bobby Powell Jr. reminding you to like, share, comment, and interact with us. You can also find us on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and all other forms of social media. I want you to remember that a life of service is indeed a life that counts, and we will see you next week on week 5 of the 2022 legislative session. Thank you, and we'll see you next week.